doggone. Yeah, we tripping now, huh? I'm gonna take you swimming over here, honey. Alright, okay, huh? Go ahead, turn around. Go on. Get up there. Go on. Go on. Got it, girl. Sure, perfect. Good. Good girl. Hit her. Hit her. Good girl. Good girl. I'm going to take you over to the beach and I'll go swimming, okay? We're going to go swimming. my girl. Yeah. Good girl. Come on down here, hon. Hey, hon. Good girl. Come on. It's all right. Come on. Come on. It's all right. Good girl. They're not gonna hurt you, hon. Good girl. Good trooper, Daisy. It's interesting, oak trees are back here. These look like white oaks. See where the seeds just fell and they just kept growing. This is what trees look like when dogs aren't peeing on them and pesticides aren't used. And ground isn't turned into residential areas. Just get these great trees, full canopied. Look at this cool tree. It's a monster. Here's a 100-year-old oak tree. I'm gonna have to bring my infrared camera back here and get this one a few shots of it. This is a beauty. It's unusual growth. Another one. Land of the giant oaks. Good girl, hon. Have fun, hon. Good girl. A lot of acorns. This would be really some nice photography this fall. See, look at all these acorns. There's quite a few books on the value of oak trees in the wild, with insects, birds, mammals, eventually mankind for wood. See, this one's too young to produce. Look at this, just loaded with acorns. It's really nice. This reminds me of Florida, kind of. A lot of birds been eating these acorns. See them walking around here a lot. You know, when you collect acorns and stuff like that, you want to try and get them from a dominant tree, like that monster over there. They don't produce acorns every single year. This is an old tree, and this one doesn't look like it produced any this year. Now, as you guys know, this area is managed as a result of fees from hunting licenses. It's set up as a duck hunting place, really. Which I don't really, I'm not big on that. Take innocent birds and set them up paradise for something to eat on their way migrating down south, and then they get shot. Don't ever forget this, is that wildlife with regard to state regulations, it is necessary, there wouldn't be any. Passenger pigeon's a good example, although that was mainly commercial harvesting. But there's no shortage of things that mankind have wiped out, and I'm certain that there'd be all sorts of things not around now if it wasn't for Department of Natural Resources, U.S. Fish and Game, that kind of thing. But states consider their wildlife a commodity. It's a moneymaker. I'm not saying they don't give two shits about the life of the animal, but it's mainly looked at as a source of income. They talk about natural, it's a bunch of bullshit. Even some of the better rivers in Michigan, the Au Sable, it's dammed.
The salmon shouldn't be here. The alewives should have never been here. But when it's something that creates money, you don't see the placards of indigenous species like the zebra mussel, which is bad. The water's not supposed to be this clear. When you see ringneck pheasants, everybody's got a smiley face. Oh, there's a dove. Sorry to disturb you, dove. But it's mainly commerce. It's got nothing to do with an innocent bird flapping its wings on the way down to Brazil. Blue and green-winged teal is an example. That doesn't keep me and Daisy from partying, does it, hon? It's like lightning got this one, I bet you. Looks like it. Split it right down the middle. Half of it's still alive. Now you know why they don't get under trees when lightning and thunder are present. It's hard not to. It takes a certain type person when it's lightning and thundering to just stand out in the middle of nowhere. A lot of sailboats out down around Bay City today. I don't know if you can see them. See, somebody did some campfires here. It's kind of nice. You get arrested for that most places. One time I saw a DNR guy back here. I don't know if that's legal or not. If he did that over on Tallis or something, he'd probably be in jail for 2 years. This foam, you see, you'd have to analyze it. You know, it's easy to want to say it's PFACs, but it's not always the case. There's certain foam that's created that way for certain conditions of organic material and water. So, I'm not sure what it is. My guess would be that it's not that. It could be a foam from phosphates, fertilizer. You know, this isn't the cleanest water body in the world. It's been beaten to death over the years, mainly from Dow Chemical, but you don't read about it very often because that's who sponsors all the sporting events, semi-professional and amateur, builds the theaters, museums, pays for the roads. So it's the old adage, don't bite the hand that feeds you, and that's no shit. Dow had considered pulling out of Midland at one time, and that would have been lights out. So I kind of get it. It's like anything in life. You got juggling these balls, and it all depends who's in office, what the agenda is, political interest, and so on. Strings attached to everything. Except when I give money to the working girls. I don't give money with strings attached. Speaking of that, you know, I don't really care about these people that criticize me. I don't need to explain anything. It's a private channel with private interests. But I can tell you this. Tassie's doing great. Kim is doing great. Becky is on the way to getting better. And these women are so used to getting lied to, manipulated, used, that if there isn't some kind of attractive variant in knowing them, then why should they believe anything I say? And you can get a hold of any of them, and you're not going to find any smoking guns. And what I really try to do is prevent, if I can, and usually it's a financial interest. You know, you get a squeeze and you're used to being a prostitute, and that's your moneymaker. It's hard to, you've already you know, put that in the back of the bus early on in your life. You look at it as a source of income, as a regard to a moral infraction. And I really don't want that to happen. I can tell these people are not used to like someone they can count on. I'm not perfect. I'm sure that money's been spent for things that it shouldn't have been, but if you look at the whole scheme of things, I think the people that I mentioned, they were better off crossing paths with me than not. And I hope to continue doing that. What are you digging for, hon? Huh? You digging for gold, hon? A lot of nice driftwood through here. You know, it gets all smoothed out from the sand. I don't really care, but in my other kayak, which, you know, cost 5 times as much, but it did come with a trailer and it was used. This is new. One knock this kayak gets is that the back hatch there is not waterproof. The only way around that is you can just put a they have what's called dry bags. I was going to test out my marine radio today, but I thought, hell with it. It's a little hotter than I thought it'd be, even with this breeze hitting our faces, so I thought I'd get out here and let the sun get a little lower. I love this kayak, I really do. I mean, you know, it's a different application, right? I could no way be here back here in the other one. But for 469 bucks, you can't beat it. I'm surprised they're able to rivet through this plastic and get them to seal like it does. It's crazy. I bought another one of those, they call it a track ratchet. So I'm going to end up, as soon as the GoPro 10 out, I'm going to get one. This has an excellent seat. As I've said before, that's where the value comes in a kayak. The seat, I mean, it's a lot of the value. That was one of these super cheap, if that seat wasn't in there, this thing would be $200. But believe me, it makes a big difference. There's a lot to kayaks, paddles. I didn't know anything about paddles. So I bought a premium paddle and thought, well, how could I go wrong? And I later found out they're made out of better material. You don't bang the sides as you're paddling. I can paddle without conking Daisy in the head. And they've got okay, not great cup seals on the end so you don't get soaked as you switch sides. What's that, hon? A floating pickle? A floating pickle, hon? Ollie, it's not often that I think about you, but this is an exception. I know you could use it. Maybe a little small. The floating pickle. And if you can't use it that way, how about I give you 500 and you jam it down your throat? You got to do a video of it though. The floating pickle. Did you see that big pickle? There's a dove again, sitting up there. See a lot of really expensive fishing boats out there. That's one out there. big deep hole, fish finders, all that stuff. You ready to party, hon? Ready to get out of here, go bye-bye? You want to check that area out some more? Daisy sleeps like a baby after a day like today. Now if you go straight across here, if you look at Saginaw Bay, and you can see which direction the wind's coming out of, so that pickle could have come from like a million places. That's big pickle territory down there. Vlasic owns big places and has contracts and a couple other pickle places. Daisy, come here, hon. Come here, honey. We're hitting the highway. Come on, come here. Good girl. That's right, get in there, babe. Good girl. Stay there. Yeah, watch out, hon. You get over there. Come here, honey. Come on, Dad's got to sit there. Come on. Dad's got to sit there, hon. Come on. You can't sit there, honey. Good girl. I got you. Dad got you. Atta girl. Good girl.
Good girl, honey.
Good girl, huh? Maybe getting a breeze up here, huh? we're gonna get out of the sun. Just chill, okay? Nicer breeze on, huh? Just dripping, huh? No. Stay there. Stay there. You're going to be getting up. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. There's the Astro van, hon. Good girl, honey. Can I get out? Oh. Good girl. Good girl, hon. Good girl. Good girl, hon.